In this video, we're going to visit a ghost town in southwest Colorado that's near the border with New Mexico. It's based around a train station called Gato on the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad's Alamosa to Durango line. So this ghost town was originally founded as Gato in 1881 when the railroad was extended in the San Juan extension. It later became Pagosa Junction in 1899 to 1900 when the narrow gauge line was constructed to link it to Pagosa Springs, which is a town in Colorado a little bit north. It transported timber from Pagosa Springs to Gato, so that's why that spur of the line was built. And about that time, in 1899, the population in Gato, or Pagosa Junction, hit about 200 people, and a post office opened. But then the town population peaked in 1930 with only 447 people, but that was the peak of it. So in its heyday, Pagosa Junction had a lumber mill, a hotel, restaurant, boarding house, general store, stables, and the railroad station. It's a pretty drive along the San Juan River to get to Pagosa Junction. You'll see several old bridges like that one there, the old railroad bridges crossing the San Juan River. And so this is the route to Pagosa Junction from Pagosa Springs. It's a well-maintained gravel road. And right around the corner up here, you'll start to see Pagosa Junction. It comes up, you'll see a church up on the right, and that was built early 1900s. It's still operational. And then as soon as we round this corner, Pagosa Junction will be on the left, and there'll be more ruins kind of spread around in that little valley area right there. And there you see it. There's the start of it right there. There's the residence straight ahead and some other buildings. So we'll get to explore those in just a few moments. The town of Pagosa Junction really started becoming a ghost town in the 1930s during the Great Depression. So that's really what started it all. The train line closed in the mid-1930s, undermining the lumber trade, and it basically severed the town's economic lifeline. So in the 1930s, there was just a rapid decline of the town. And this triggered a bunch of things, including the post office shut down in 1954, the school shut down in 1962, and by the late 1970s, only 3 or 4 residents remained. Today, if you visit, you can still see remains of the ghost town. You can see remains of Pagosa Junction or Gato. There's a narrow gauge freight car and spur track. There's the remains of a pump house with a boiler and water tank. There's a steel truss railroad bridge. There's a Catholic church up on a hill that was built in 1927, and that still holds mass each year. There's an old station house that was a residence. It was likely constructed in the early 1880s and probably served 2 roles. One as a residence for the railroad staff, and also probably had an office space that was tied to the train logistics or railroad logistics. But time and neglect have left behind broken windows, peeling siding, a collapsed porch, and overgrown surroundings. However, it does make for some excellent photos. So if you're a photographer, you might be very interested in checking this out because you can take some beautiful shots. And out back behind the house, there's an outhouse that has 2 holes. And during its heyday, Pagosa Junction had a general store called the Gomez store. It opened in the early 1900s, and it operated all the way through until 1971. It served ranchers, train crews, and local families in the area. But in 1971, the store closed in Pagosa Junction, and the Gomez store was relocated from the ghost town to the town of Pagosa Springs for preservation. So it's completely picked up and moved as it was, completely stocked with everything in it, and it was picked up and brought to Pagosa Springs. And now it is at the Archuleta County Fairgrounds, where you can go see it. Its shelves are still crammed with the groceries and jars and cans. There's hardware, there's a store ledger from the date it closed in 1971, and there's also the original signage and prices. So at special events at the Archuleta County Fair, they'll open up the store so you can go in and check it out. But it's closed, but you can still walk around it during normal days. Today, Pagosa Junction is on the Southern Ute Indian Reservation. It's actually on their property alongside the banks of the San Juan River. It's easy to get to. It's right off the road, but there are no trespassing signs, so be respectful if you go check it out. Pagosa Junction is located about 25 or so miles from Pagosa Springs, and it's south from there. And you get there via Trujillo Road, which is a scenic road that goes from Pagosa Springs all the way to Pagosa Junction and out to New Mexico. And I made a video of that road. If you're interested in seeing it, you can look for that on my channel. There's a whole view of the road. It's really kind of pretty. I hope you enjoyed this view of Pagosa Junction through the historical photos and then the actual photos of today, or the actual video of today from walking through it. It's really a neat place. Thanks for watching.